Hello, everyone in the spatial arrangement class for the academic year of 2019/2020. Uh, Here we are in the spatial arrangement session for the first lecture with me, Permanda Kiki Widya Putra. I will accompany you in several class session. I think it will be around 11 or 12 sessions that I will provide with videos. So because right now we cannot meet face to face in the real classroom, so I will try to explain in the using videos, and I hope you can also understand everything that I explained here. But if you encounter any difficulties or questions, you can always ask me using message or in the Google Classroom or Siakat. Okay, so let's start with the first lecture. Okay, yeah, with some topics, with some list of topics that we will discuss in this 12 session. I think it will be 12 session until the final exam. So and every videos I will provide in the YouTube. So you can play it whenever you need. Okay, so our course is including introduction to the spatial arrangement, spatial planning, the principles, the method and analysis, and also the outcome and application of spatial arrangement and the documents also. So let's start with the spatial concept. Spatial is everything that related to the position, area, and size of things, like the space around us. It is the part of the spatial terms. Our houses, our campus, our village is always related to a position, area, and the size also. Size of the village, size of the city, size of the country. That is the spatial. The spatial will be or can be presented using spatial data. Spatial data is like all the data that have a connection with the spatial components. It means that data are connected to a place in the earth. So every data is connected. Spatial data especially is connected to every places in earth. One object has its own places. For example, right now I'm in Yogyakarta, for example. So the entity of me in the spatial components is the person that live in Yogyakarta. That is the spatial and spatial data. Spatial data is special. We can say that it's special because spatial can explain the spatial data or the spatial data. Spatial data can explain every object that located in our real world. So like this, this is the real world. And then in this in our world, there is always some components inside this world. For example, in the spatial aspect, administrative boundaries, streets, blocks or parcel or points, land usage, elevation, topography. All of this can be combined into this spatial map or spatial model. So the spatial or the space is included All of this is included in the spatial places. Spatial data also has kind of a pitfalls because most spatial samples are not random. I mean that some things can be in one place with a purpose. It's not random. For example, why we have a college in Yogyakarta, for example, it's not just random. Or why we live in Yogyakarta, for example, that's just not a random things, but sometimes it is a purpose, yeah, beside it. That situation is known as spatial autocorrelation. So each of us always related to other things. You probably is related to your house, your family, your neighbor, yeah, your job, your study, your academic institution, and so on. That is the small things. In the bigger terms, the Earth's surface is not an isotropic plane. It is not just a random or just a plane. No, but it is also a relation between objects that located in the Earth, like the Earth, mantle, the tectonic plate, the ocean, the water, the wind, the sun, the stars. Each of those things related to the others. The flora, the fauna, the person itself. Yeah. So the spatial is related to the autocorrelation between one things with the other things. Yeah. Some quotes, mention that aggregation units used are arbitrary with respect to the phenomena under investigation. And if spatial units were specified differently, we might observe very different patterns. This is explained how some areas or some areal unit has its own phenomena. And if we look for it with a different perspective, yeah, we might observe also different patterns. Yeah, it's depend on the perspective. This is also the problem of spatial data. Yeah, sometimes we have issues. We have a non-uniformity of space and its effect. So the space is non-uniform. Ya, in bahasa Indonesia, suatu posisi, suatu lahan, suatu area, suatu space ya, tempat ya, itu tidak seragam. Artinya begini, di atas muka bumi ini isinya itu berbagai macam. Tidak hanya berisi cuman tanaman semua, manusia semua, tidak. Tapi ada juga objek-objek yang lain. Jadi di dalam space pasti akan ada interaksi. Interaksi akan mendatangkan, ya pasti dampak positif atau negatif ya. Nah itulah yang menjadi tantangan atau pitfalls dari spatial data. Nah tapi kalau potensinya ya, let's continue ya. The potential of spatial data, yeah, we can always do some relationship study ya. So we can always do a quantification of spatial relationship. Kita bisa mengkaji atau melihat bahwa seperti apa sih hubungan ya, relationship ya antara suatu objek di satu spasial dengan objek yang lain. Ya. Dan bagaimana bentuk relationship-nya, lalu bagaimana dampaknya atau efeknya. Sekali lagi, semua pasti berdampak positif dan negatif. Next, yeah, the spatial data are the building blocks of any spatial analysis. So, in the spatial data study, especially in geography study, in mapping study, also in environmental engineering, of course, yeah. We know some type of data, type of spatial data. Probably if you learn GIS, yeah, you will be familiar with this concept or this term. Raster is like a cells, yeah, like a puzzle, yeah, like a picture, yeah. Vector is like a feature, like points, lines, and polygon, yeah. So this spatial data can represent the condition of Earth surface. Nah, for example, like this, yeah, spatial data, yeah, polygon, points, the points like this, the lines like this, yeah. And the location, of course. We cannot uh, understand spatial planning without understanding of spatial itself, because sometimes we need to combine the concept of spatial into one output or one product. Nah, GIS is used to combine those data into one comprehensive or one unity of data, ya, spatial data, ya, using GIS. I will not give you many lesson about GIS because you already get it in the other class, ya. So what is spatial analysis? Spatial analysis, probably you will also learn in GIS, ya. Spatial analysis is one of purpose of geographic inquiry to examine the relationship between geographic features and to use the relationships to describe the real-world phenomena that map features represent. Yeah. Or in other definition, yeah, the quantitative procedures employed in the study of the spatial arrangement of features, which is point, lines, polygons, area, or surface. Nah, shortly, spatial analysis can cover the spectrum implied by this question. For example, how can two spatial distribution be compared with each other? Bagaimana kita bisa membandingkan distribusi spasial antara satu atau dua atau lebih dari kondisi yang berbeda? Bagaimana kita bisa membandingkan kondisi-kondisi yang berbeda? Ya. Yang kedua, bagaimana how variation, ya, a variation of geographic properties of a single area or dataset be described and or analyzed. Bagaimana kita bisa menganalisis berbagai variasi geografis yang muncul di suatu area tertentu atau suatu area yang luas sehingga bisa kita analisis. Yang ketiga, how can we use what we have learned from an analysis to predict future spatial distribution? Bagaimana kita bisa menggunakan apa yang sudah kita pelajari untuk memprediksi distribusi spasial di masa mendatang. So the point of spatial arrangement is actually how we can predict the future and how can we plan, yeah, how can we plan the future so that it will be function as the purpose itself, yeah, as the original purpose. Bagaimana kita bisa memprediksi masa mendatang dan menyiapkan masa mendatang supaya semua tujuan yang telah ditetapkan itu menjadi bermanfaat atau memberikan manfaat yang paling optimal. Ya. Okay. So this is what one of the example of the spatial combination, yeah, between GIS, yeah, using the vector and raster information. For example, like this, yeah. If we want to have complete information of one area, we cannot just using one component. We have to combine all of the component in the Earth surface, and we have to what you call it, like overlay, yeah, and we need to overlay all of the component into one complete uh, model. Yeah, one complete model. For example, like this, yeah. In one layers of Earth surface, we will have the information of communication networks, land and water transaction, land use, farm location, ownership of soil or land, soil properties, and water flow. Now, in this area, you can see the area is this grid, yeah. Probably one area will have these many features, yeah, these many layers. Yeah. For example, like this also, yeah. In this area, there are several components that describe this area. Land use, streets, district, parcel, yeah. The parks, the soil itself, the water table, the cell, sandstone, river, discharge point for drainage or something. So we have to combine this into one information. For example, like this one is the combination, yeah, between all of this component that describe this location. Ya. Jadi di lokasi ini tersusun dari berapa macam isi. Nah, isi ini yang menjadi objek kajian dari spatial arrangement. Ya. This is the objects of the study. So, what are the outcomes from spatial planning? Yeah. Well, the outcome is a good and beneficial spatial arrangement or a good and beneficial spatial future plan. Not only good but also beneficial, in bahasa bermanfaat, ya, mendatangkan lebih banyak manfaat dibandingkan dengan kerugian. Yeah. Like one illustration in the background, yeah, you can see an area from 1488 developed into 2014 into some metropolitan. At first, it is only like a barren soil, like a farming area, and in the development several years later, it become city or a metropolitan. But spatial arrangement is not just about development, yeah. It is about a sustainable and beneficial development that give many benefit to the community, to the environment, and always, of course, for the all of the component that located in that location. Okay, that is about the spatial. So what is the spatial plan actually? The spatial plan, the definition of spatial plan in the regional or district level has been an important tool of rural or urban integration through functional integration of various level of service and facilities. So the spatial plan, the keywords, yeah. Spatial plan is the integration of various level of service and facilities. Spatial plan adalah satu kesatuan integrasi dari berbagai macam bentuk pelayanan dan fasilitas publik, khususnya di perkotaan atau juga pedesaan. Spatial plan also provides a spatial strategy to provide locational plan for the development programs and SIM, but also rural-urban integration to minimize disparity in development of space. Jadi ini in bahasa spatial plan ini juga memberikan spatial strategi bagaimana suatu lokasi itu bisa dibangun, ya, program-program yang paling tepat, paling sesuai, dan juga untuk meminimalkan suatu disparitas, ya, satu penghalang dari suatu pengembangan daerah, ya. Spatial strategy also provides two broad directions. The first is on hierarchy of urban and rural settlement in the region, and the second is regarding the purpose purpose function of the settlement. Jadi intinya spatial strategy ini juga mendatangkan atau menegaskan kembali hierarki dari perkembangan dari kota dan desa. Ya, jadi seperti nanti kita akan bahas ya di beberapa materi berikutnya ya. Jadi memang dalam spatial plan atau penataan ruang itu kita perlu hierarki penataan, artinya scope atau level atau apa namanya skala ya, skala perencanaan. Skala paling kecil tentu akan menginduk pada skala di atasnya. Skala di atasnya lebih luas lagi akan menginduk pada skala yang lebih luas lagi di atasnya, sehingga terintegrasi semua kawasan itu atau suatu area itu sesuai dengan peruntukannya dan sesuai dengan fungsi berdasarkan level atau hierarki yang dimiliki tadi. Jadi kalau misalnya satu desa kecil ya, dia harus juga bisa menyesuaikan dengan program atau tujuan penataan dari kawasan administratif di kecamatan misalnya gitu ya. Kecamatan juga harus mengikuti arahan dari kabupaten. Kabupaten juga harus dari provinsi dan seterusnya, sehingga semuanya hierarkinya jelas. Nah, okay, so that is the spatial plan ya, tentang spatial planning berarti ya. But actually, what is planning? Yeah. Okay, what is planning? According to Fritz Marsden Marx, yeah, planning is a preparation for action. It is the vital first step in any major administrative action. Planning is meant to an end. It is the process of formatting objective to be realized by administrative enterprise. Jadi kalau dalam bahasa Indonesia, perencanaan itu adalah persiapan untuk melangkah atau untuk melakukan suatu aksi. Biasanya juga dibarengi untuk bagaimana kita bisa merealisasikan suatu hal atau suatu angan-angan yang menjadi tujuan awal. John de Millet also says planning is a process of determining the objective of administrative effort and devising the means calculated to achieve them. So planning is the simply endeavor to apply foresight to human activity. Planning anticipate desired result and prepare the steps necessary for their realization. Jadi kalau dalam bahasa Indonesia, planning atau perencanaan itu adalah suatu proses, ya, suatu effort, suatu upaya untuk bisa merancang ya, merancang dan menerapkan suatu hal untuk dapat mencapai ya suatu objektif. Objektif itu suatu tujuan ya. Termasuk kita menentukan tujuan itu juga menjadi bagian dari planning ya. Upaya planning salah satunya adalah sorry tadi sedikit terputus rekamannya. Jadi intinya planning adalah suatu upaya ya, suatu upaya bahkan untuk menyiapkan atau menentukan suatu tujuan dan bagaimana cara mencapai dari tujuan tersebut. Those who fail to plan actually plan to fail. Yang gagal merencanakan sesungguhnya sedang merencanakan untuk gagal. Jadi kita harus bisa menentukan atau membuat suatu planning yang baik. Ya, oke. So, nah ini untuk materi berikutnya for the next session ya, we will discuss about the principles of planning. For this materials, I will end it first, and we will meet again in the next session. So please also stay tuned and continue to watch and to learn from the videos. Okay, so thank you very much for your attention, and we meet again in the next session. Thank you.